I can remember we got an emergency call to Little London. Information received from our dispatch center is that a gentleman has slashed his own throat. Responding to that call, there were all sorts of expectations going through our minds, you understand, because we didn't know what to expect. But I don't have it that when we reached there, we saw him there on the bed with his throat slashed, Wasn't a pretty sight, but knowing it's our job, we have to advance to the situation, and life depends on what we do at the present moment. We step forward and we realized that he was still breathing, so there was this ray of hope. We realized then, and moving the things around the surrounding to get to have proper control over the situation. We realized that the machete that he used was still there on the bed. During the process, we were still thinking, wondering if he's gonna make it or not. But we continued to stabilize, packaging him in the ambulance, continued on our way now to the hospital, monitoring him as we went along, and handed him over to the local hospital. And based on my knowledge, I get to understand that he was safe.
The most important part of my job is that to know that I can help someone, and at the same time, persons look up to me because of what I do.
Most important part of my job is when sometimes you're trying to do your best and you can't do any more to save that patient.
On the go, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, the work of an emergency medical technician, EMT, is never done. When summoned, the goal of the EMT is to provide emergency medical services, EMS. That is, retrieve, care for, and deliver victims to an appropriate medical facility in the shortest possible time and under the best possible conditions. Emergency Medical Services is a functional arm of the Jamaica Fire Brigade, which began operation in 1996.
We started with 3 stations, Savlamar, Negril and Ironshore. In August of the same year, Lucy came on board, so we had 4 stations in operation. Further on, in 2005, you had Linstead opening. Linstead is in St. Catherine. And then in 2008, you had Falmouth. So presently we have 6 operational sites.
EMS is staffed by emergency medical technicians who respond to a number of trauma and medical-related incidents, including road traffic accidents, cardiovascular emergencies, acute respiratory diseases, life-threatening trauma, severe bleeding, and obstetric emergency.
On a good day, we normally get up to 9 calls. Sometimes we do not get much calls, but what we do have is a lot of persons coming to the station requesting help. So for instance, if the unit is out, then they still come here, and if we don't have a unit present, if for some reason the unit is down, they still do come here, and although the health center is nearby, they use this facility as a first resort.
Let's say there's an emergency. The call comes in to the central post at the watch room, and the firefighter in charge takes the information and alerts his colleagues at the station if it is that the team is in-house with the emergency bell. When that bell is rung, EMTs have to respond within a minute of the call. EMTs are firefighters who have indicated a need for EMS training. They are trained at 3 different levels: basic, intermediary, and advanced. At the basic level, training is 320 hours, inclusive of 3 weeks in the hospital.
When you finish that and you start working, then you can always move up to the next level, which is intermediate. Now, intermediate is 480 hours of training, and you have to do a month in the hospital. If you want to do additional training to the paramedic level, then you have to go overseas, and that is over 1,000 hours of training.
EMTs are brave men and women who are dedicated and equipped to providing the health care you need, oftentimes right where you are. For more information on EMS or any other specialized area in the Jamaica Fire Brigade, visit their website www.jfb.gov.jm or call 922-2523 or 922-0007.